LCX, the token here to solve a $7 trillion problem, arrives at a time when the financial markets of the world are in absolute turmoil. And today, LCX is presenting us with an incredible revisit to a buy zone where I think we can get the very best price for LCX. So do me a favor, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into today's LCX video. So just a little bit of background about what LCX is if you're not sure. Well, it is the Liechtenstein Exchange Token. Now, Liechtenstein is a tiny country in Europe and has basically been famed for years for its banking. The average GDP is $180,000 per highest in the world, and for years Liechtenstein has provided banking to some of the world's richest people. Now, what's very exciting is many countries around the world are trying to limit their exposure to cryptocurrency, with various crackdowns like you're getting in America with the SEC, and other countries such as China where you've had an outright ban of cryptocurrency. So it's amazing and very exciting to see an entire country welcome in blockchain technology, and this in Liechtenstein is all going to happen through the LCX platform. Now, the mission of LCX is to become the world's first licensed and supervised blockchain ecosystem for professional investors. It's already been endorsed by the government of Liechtenstein, so within the country that it's designed to operate in, you have no problem with regulation because it's already been approved. Now, where does that $7 trillion problem come from, I hear you ask? Well, the global movement of money from different countries to other countries is all worked through something called SWIFT payments, which is extremely slow, extremely expensive. It also means if you're trying to send money from one country to another, it's also very difficult to do this anonymously. Whether you think this is a good thing or a bad thing, there are lots of people in the world who have an enormous amount of money that they need to be able to move from one place to the other. If you watched The Wolf of Wall Street, then you'll understand there was a lot of problems trying to get the cash out of the United States into Switzerland. And obviously that problem probably wouldn't exist today with the benefits of having blockchain technology and platforms like LCX. Now, the LCX exchange is extremely fast when compared with other transfers like SWIFT. It can do 100 transactions per second, and I am aware that that is very slow compared with the likes of Solana, HBAR, and the rest. But we're talking about high net worth individuals and business transactions, and those are the big money transactions. And this is where we're going to see a huge amount of value in the LCX token going forward, because the LCX token gives reduced fees for people using the LCX exchange. You're going to have much more confidence from the big money using an exchange like this. And this is where I think the LCX token has a real opportunity to gain some serious value going forward. Everything it's done is designed to be above board, in accordance with the new blockchain laws. Regulated cryptocurrency trading exchange for trading digital currencies and conducting token sales in the legal way. Now, you can see that there's not just the exchange, but a variety of different features. You've got a vault, a protocol, a bank, assets, and terminals. So if you've been wondering where you want to store your cryptocurrency, obviously having lost faith in other exchanges over the last few years, it seems like LCX could be trying to solve that problem by being as black and white as possible, giving all the information up front to regulators and everyone in order to be the new future of blockchain banking. And this guy, Don Tapscott, says, who is the author of Blockchain Revolution, said LCX is one of the most important companies in the entire world. And right now its market cap is sat at just $74 million. Remember, it's going to try and solve a $7 trillion problem. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see a market cap of $7 trillion, but $74 million. It's going to see some insane growth, in my opinion. So we already know that there's a big problem with transferring money around the world. It's very difficult, very expensive, very slow. There's a lot of people who have a lot of money that needs moving very quickly, and they need to be doing it in a secure way, but in a legal way that is approved at least by the laws of Liechtenstein. So we can see that there is definitely value in this platform going forward, and that for me makes it a pretty worthwhile investment. We saw this nice rally happen in the price recently, but we have seen it sort of start to trickle towards the downside as Bitcoin has been a little bit slow. This is on a weekly chart. But if you're in my Telegram group, which is linked down below and absolutely free, so make sure you go and join that today, you'll understand where I'm looking for my setups and how I like to get into trades. I don't like to get into these rallies like this, guys, because this is where you get burned. Because if you're buying up here, you're now sat in this negative for the next few weeks, wondering why you did it to yourself. And it's probably going to be some sleepless nights, and I don't really want to do that. So how can I get better opportunities? Well, I wait for the pullbacks to come. And it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to get down to these lows. I don't think I will, that I've now got a really nice opportunity. And if I jump into a 4-hour, we can see where that opportunity comes from. Now, what we're looking for is areas in the market that we saw big surges out, big aggressive pushes. We got one up here, we got one down here, and then we got more down here. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to mark them on with green boxes. I'm going to mark just below these big rallies with a green box. Okay, so we can see one here. We have a bit of a sideways movement and then bang up. We have one down here. We have up and down and then bang up. Okay, these show us that these are good looking buy zones. And if I zoom out further and we drag these across, well, hello, here we go. You can see that we have a nice revisit to this buy zone. And in fact, if I was to be a bit more accurate with where I was drawing that buy zone, I would draw it a little bit lower down, because you can see we have a nice wick down to this area, and then we start the move towards the upside. And if we come across, you can see that we have dipped just underneath into this little liquidity area. And I was talking about this in my premium group for the Bitcoin chart just yesterday, when we saw it dip into the liquidity, and then it's boomed another couple of $1,000s since that happened. And I gave that signal as I saw it to the guys in that group. But what we know now is we have an area at which a big money previously was buying from. So what do I want to do? I want to do what the big money does. I don't want to do what the dumb money does and buy these. I want to wait for the retest of this area, and I can get in now. And that then gives me a great opportunity, because back to this recent high that we just saw a couple of weeks ago. And if we're looking at a weekly chart, well, you know, from this current level all the way back up to this high, you're looking at a 7.7x. But this is a $70 million market cap coin. I think we're going to do a minimum of a 10x. I think this is a multi-billion-dollar project if everything goes to plan. And therefore, I'm looking at this as being a very good potential for a 50x, maybe even a 100x if we get a phenomenal, exciting bull run. But obviously, that's not financial advice. This is just another token that I want to get involved in, because it gives me good exposure to a particular area of the market. And I really like the look of this. I know that they're solving a big problem, and they've got all the regulation that they need in place to make everything work. Even if they get investigated by the SEC and the SEC is unhappy with what they're doing, then it doesn't necessarily matter, because they're going to be driving the European banks, which basically run through more money than most of the world put together anyway. So although it's going to take a big knock if that happens, it still will stand the test of time, in my opinion. Guys, everything I've said on this video is not financial advice. You should be doing research in your own time. If you want to make money in crypto, it's no one's fault if you lose money but your own. If you want to go and buy tokens in crypto, well, I recommend you go to Fairdesk, which is linked down below in the description. Here you can buy cryptos at really low fees, and you can get a bonus of up to $35,000, which is absolutely insane if you sign up today. As well as that, you can do things like copy trading, where you can copy experienced traders making profits when they do, but again, don't use money that you can't afford to lose. Make sure you get into my Telegram, guys, link down below. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.